Okay, guys, so we'll get started. Thank you so much for taking the time out to jump on tonight. I know it's a bit of a daunting new experience for a lot of you guys who are using Zap for the first time, but it's really cool because we get to connect with you all on this beautiful Wednesday and see how everybody's doing. I know we've got 4 beautiful ladies who are launching tonight, and I've been talking to them during the day. I know they're all nervous as hell, so I really appreciate everybody coming on and helping them with a little bit of support, because seeing familiar faces on Zoom is really nice when you get a whole lot of other people there staring back at you. So basically, I'll introduce myself. My name's Katrina. And I started the movement, the Soul Project, about 12 months ago, which is really just about getting, mostly mamas, but we've got some awesome guys out as well, getting people out and about and really valuing their health a little bit more, whether it be spiritually, mentally, socially, emotionally, physically, just making sure that we're really putting ourselves as a number one priority. The beauty of the Soul Project and the other movements that come along with it is that it's based online. So it gives people an opportunity to be able to pick up some income simply by fitting it around whatever they do at the moment. So we're going to break through tonight a little bit about our program and what comes with the program online. And then we're going to go into the business. So you may be sitting there, your friend may have invited you basically just for support, or they may have thought that you might be interested in something like this where you can put your family first, or you can put your study or your commitments first, but create a little bit of extra income online as well. So I always like to just start off and let you guys know that this is an absolutely obligation-free zone. It's really just about us getting out there and letting you guys know that there is an option, but it's absolutely pressure-free. Basically, we're just here to spread the mission. And if it resonates with you, that's fantastic. If it doesn't, we just ask that you kind of look out, and it's a word of mouth business. So you may know of people, you may have kind of meet people along the way that you could direct back to your friend. So I'm going to shoot on over to our lovely Denise, and she's going to explain the actual program behind what we do here online. So Denise, where are you in your beautiful Ugg boots? Wonderful. Thank you, darling.
Thank you, Serena. Thank you. You can't see my Ugg boots, which is a good thing for everyone. Hi, everybody. My name's Denise, and I'm a health and physical education teacher. I'm up here in Gladstone in Queensland, which is not so sunny and warm at the moment. But Juice Plus came into my life about 8 months ago. I came across the products quite by accident and wanted to give them a good go and see how they could change our life. And I have to say, after 8 months, they've changed our lives and our health exponentially. As well as being a PE teacher, I'm also a bit of a gym fan. So I want to put optimal nutrition into my body. And Juice Plus has definitely bridged that gap between what I was doing before and what I was eating and what I should be eating, and the fruit and veggies and the nutrition I get into my body every day now. One thing I've noticed being a PE teacher over the years is that people are not getting healthier. In fact, throughout the general population, people are becoming more unhealthy. And more than ever, people are being prescribed more medications for kind of lifestyle diseases like IBS, anxiety, eczema, high blood pressure issues, high cholesterol, and so on. And for me, the bottom line is 3 main things that health is based on is drinking enough water, getting enough exercise, and having more fruit and veggies in your diet. And recent statistics say that just under 2% of Australian adults are getting less than the recommended daily dose of 2 to 5 fruit and veggies every day. In fact, that's been increased to 9 to 13. And 1% of Australian kids are not meeting the dietary requirements. And to me, that's really terrifying and really scary. And I think for the first time, our parents' generation may even outlive ours, which is really quite terrifying because of the nutritional choices that are being made. So Enter Juice Plus, this product came along into our lives at a time when we just needed some extra boost in our diet to bridge the gap between what we were eating every day and what we should be. And what excites me about Juice Plus is that it's food. So we have fruit, we have berries, and we have veggies. And if you look at the labels on the back of these, that's exactly what they are. They're just fruit, veggies, and berries. For example, on the veggie bottle, it's carrot, cabbage, kale, rice bran, broccoli, beet, tomato, garlic, parsley, spinach, and oat bran. So for these 3 little bottles of gems, you can get more than 27 serves of fruit, veggies, and berries in your diet every single day. And not just the serves. About these products, it's just simply amazing, because we know that when we go to the supermarket, yes, you can get a whole range of fruit, veggies and berries, but we don't know where those fruit, veggies and berries actually come from. So they are, unlike when we were young, you could only get veggies and fruits in various seasons because that's when they're available. But now you can go at any time of the year and everything's available, and that's because everything's cold stored for quite a long time. And if they're not ready to be put on the shelves, they're often gas ripened. You don't know where the fruit, veggies and berries have been grown, so they're grown with pesticides, they're genetically modified. But with our Juice Plus products, we know exactly where every single bottle comes from, and you can actually trace every bottle back to the farm that it was grown on. So these lovely little products are grown on Juice Plus farms. They're third generation pesticide free, no genetic modification at all. On the day that they are picked, they're vine ripened. So that means that all the nutritional value stays right in them to the very end. The day that they're picked, they're taken straight to the processing plant. They're pulped whole. So the seeds, the stems, all of those nutrients are preserved. And then they're dehydrated at a really low temperature in an oxygen-free environment and popped into a vegan capsule, which prevents oxidation of the products as well. And because it's at a low temperature, all the enzymes are preserved, and all those thousands of phytochemicals are also preserved inside those capsules. Not everyone can take a capsule, of course. Having said that, these are our premium capsules, so we've got the fruit, veggies and berries, as I said. But in Australia, we also have these other fantastic products, and they are the chews, because not everyone can take a capsule. So these are the chews, and they're good for little kids and big kids. So these are the same, exactly the same ingredients as are in the capsules. Ingredients are the same on the back. But there's a little bit of tapioca starch to make them nice and chewy and sweet, and kids absolutely love them. And one of the initiatives of the Juice Plus company is a children's health survey that's been done around the world. Over 2 million kids have been surveyed. The parents had to fill out a survey in return for having these chews for free. And the research resoundingly showed that the kids were sleeping better, having less days off school, less visits to the doctor, better behaviour. And so the Juice Plus company just went, okay, the results are in, so from now on we will continue to provide those chews to the children for free and continue to see those amazing results. The other product that we have is our complete powder. And for me, this is my favourite. So I love the capsules, and I definitely know when I go to the gym in the morning, if I haven't taken my capsules, a couple of times I've forgotten, I jump on a cardio machine and all of a sudden I don't have the energy and I'm like, oh, forgot my capsules, which is very rare because it's part of my daily ritual in the morning. But I love the shakes as well. So this is a whole food powder. It's full of superfoods. It has niacin, so it's a natural mood enhancer, which is a fantastic way to start the day. They're not a meal replacement. For some people that they are though. So for us, we have them in the morning before we go to the gym, my partner Greg and I. We mix them up with some spinach leaves, some avocado, makes it nice and creamy, some water and some banana. And we know that we're getting this macro nutrition into our body. It's vegetable-based protein, so pea protein, soy protein, lots of superfoods like kale, spirulina, mushroom powder and so on. And this gives you a big boost of energy. For other people, they find that pick me up in the afternoon about 3:30, when that 3:30itis sets in, rather than grabbing something unhealthy from the fridge. Some people use this as a boost for that reason as well. As well as our products, we also have our Juicy Body Transformation Program. And this is an online program which everyone has access to for life once you become a JBT customer or a Juice Plus customer. This program is free of deprivation. There's no calorie counting. It's very family friendly. There's over 200 delicious recipes that everybody absolutely loves. It's more of a lifestyle change and long-term health program rather than, a lose weight program. It's just a different way of living and a different lifestyle. It also has some gourmet cleansers, some lifestyle tips, some workout guides, and there's an online supportive community support that program as well. So they are our products. That's our program. It's working for us. We absolutely love it. And that's it. Back to you, Katrina.
Thank you, darling. That's wonderful. So as you can see, exactly like Denise shared, we base a lot of our products in our program around whole food nutrition. Obviously, fruits and veggies are what we're designed to have inside us, but with today's lifestyle, exactly like Denise shared, it's very hard to ensure that we're optimizing that. We're leaning for packaged food. We're in a very fast-paced lifestyle. I have a small family, and I know how hard it is to have the time to set up a really healthy meal for them every night. And a lot of the time we are getting pre-packaged stuff because it's convenient. And I was really uncertain about how that was affecting my kids. So when Juice Plus came into my life, it was a no-brainer to add it inside our program and utilize getting more fruits and veggies into our participants. But you know, we've got absolutely solid backing with Juice Plus. It's been around for 30 years. It's been the same ingredients for 30 years. So we knew kale was cool way before it actually was. And it's also got about 35 peer-reviewed studies done in top-notch universities from around the world. So research-wise, scientifically backed, beyond anything else that's out there on the shelves. But for me, I'm not really scientifically inclined. I find the stories are more powerful. So I've got a couple of beautiful people on tonight that have been taking the product just to share a few stories because, you know, like I said, it's cool to know that a product has what it says in it. It is bioavailable to our body. It's literally food. But I think the stories of what it does inside people's bodies are so much more powerful. So we're going to reach on over to Miranda. If she's there, I know she's been battling a little bubby all night. She's an all-night sleeper. Hello. And she's going to share with us what she's found.
Hi, everybody. Please bear with me. She's a bit ratty. I'm not quite 3 weeks old, so we'll do our very best to quickly share with you. But I've been part of Juice Plus and all the products now for over a year. We came across the products just by chance. Actually, a friend had started taking them, Katrina, and she was feeling amazing. So I was a mum of 2 young kids at the time and not feeling fantastic, very run down, very burnt out, and wanted to know pretty much what she was taking because I needed some of that. So I went along to a launch like this, had a listen and fell in love with what I heard, so jumped on in. We started on the products. Like I said, I had 2 young kids at the time, and they got the little chewies for free. So we gave it a crack. A week in, we noticed some massive changes with ourselves as adults. I was a massive Diet Coke drinker, and that stopped within a week. I just was drinking so much water. I had no idea really what was going on with my body. I'm like, why does it want water all the time? Like I'd usually have a Diet Coke with dinner, but give me water. So I started to crave the good stuff, sleeping better. Just the mummy fog kind of lifted, and I felt more human than what I had felt for a very long time. Husband felt great, and probably he was Coke as well, so like just addicted to bad stuff, and it all stopped. So that was a huge blessing in itself. And then we noticed obviously with the kids that my son had massive changes. So he has been dealing with an impacted bowel since he was 3 years old. He's now 10, so 7 years. He has been had major issues with that. An impacted bowel means that he can't go to the toilet properly, so he can't feel the need to do a poo. So this led to him pooing his pants daily, multiple times a day, not just once. Being bullied at school. Sorry, I'm very, I guess I'm a new mum, right? So I'm going to probably lose my beep in a minute, but I'm going to try and keep it together. So he was really badly bullied at school. He, to the point where he had anxiety through the roof. He would hang on to the car door and not get out because he was being picked on for smelling like poo, obviously. We'd seen psychiatrists with him. We'd seen psychologists. He was under paediatrician's care. He had medication, so much medication. He'd been in hospital for invasive procedures for years to try and fix this, and nothing was working. We were just banging our heads against the brick wall. He obviously was on the chews, and I honestly thought nothing of them. I thought, they're fruits and veggies in a little chewy. How can it help him? You know, he's on everything else. Nothing's going to work. Within a week, he yelled out to me, Mummy, I've done a poo. And for me to hear that was like, yeah, okay, Cooper, I'm coming. You know, you've pooed your pants again. I'm on my way. But he's like, no, Mum, I'm on the toilet. And I felt my first poo. For us, that was just life-changing. He hadn't felt the need to do a poo for years and years and years. So to hear those words come out of his mouth and to see the smile on his face that he was able to do that was just, something I'll forever ever be grateful for. Sorry for getting so emotional. I haven't shared for a little while, and it still gets me, every day. So He has since been fantastic. We do still have days. We do still have accidents. He's not perfect, and it's definitely not a miracle fix by any means, but he's definitely going to the toilet more frequently, and our accidents are so far less than what they ever were. And I'll forever be thankful to Katrina for introducing the product to us, because it has changed our life. And yeah, now I share it with everybody else, because if it can change mine, you know, who knows what it could do for somebody else. So that's what I love so much about this business. So yeah, thanks for listening, and I'll hand you back over to Katrina. And sorry for losing it a little bit, but thank you.
Oh, thank you, Danny. Sorry for making everybody else cry too. Oh, you're the best. Thank you so much. That story, I mean, there's so many stories that we get to hear, but that's one of my favorites, because I love Cooper and I love Miranda, and I was so scared getting into this business about sharing what I was doing. Miranda was one of my first customers. So to be able to have that impact, you know, it blows my mind, and I'm so thankful for it. And we're going to reach on over to another beautiful girl, Mel, who is launching tonight. Oh, there she is. All right, Dylan, the floor's all yours. What have you noticed since getting on the product?
Well, when I first started on the product, I wasn't really thinking of taking it in the first place, because I was just wanting the job side of things type thing. And then they said, hey, you kind of have to have a look at the product as well, because you need to be, you know, not exactly selling it, but, you know, be a part of the product as well. So once I started taking the product, we had quite a lot of good things come into our life. I mean, Capri, my daughter, she was very sick for a very long time. If anybody is my friend on Facebook, they'll see from past experiences we've had quite a lot of problems that have arisen. It's quite a definite. It was definitely a struggle for us, because I was having to take time off work and things like that. And once I started with the tubes with my daughter, she started clearing up straight away. We went to our paediatric appointment and said that she is the most healthiest child she's seen. There's no problem with her. And with me, my energy has been through the roof, absolutely through the roof. I can keep going. My partner has to tell me to settle down sometimes, just relax, you know, watch a movie. Come on, just be my wife for a bit. But I mean, I've noticed so many different changes with my children. They're eating a lot more fruit and vegetables. I mean, their appetite's gone through the roof. I mean, it's absolutely amazing. I wish that I came across this sooner, due to like the community, the people. I mean, it's just, I wish I found this sooner. It's definitely a life changer for me.
Oh, you're so beautiful. We wish you had found it sooner too. Where have you been all of our life? Thank you, darling. Thank you for sharing, and good luck for your launch tonight.
Thank you.
You're the best. Okay, so pretty much you can see that's a little bit of our program. That's the product that we share. I'm sure if you're friends with the girls that have launched, you've probably seen them sharing a few of their results here and there. You've seen the capsules pop up and down. But really, it's the stories like that we all feel that makes us so passionate about getting into the business and going and helping others. And that's basically what we do. We really want to make sure that people out there are looking after themselves. And in my opinion, I love the product. I've seen amazing results with the product mentally. I won't get into too much of that, but you know, if you are suffering with depression or anxiety, this is a wonderful alternative for you to take. It's a beautiful, natural product that can really help rejuvenate your cells, particularly, you know, get rid of that mind fog, get rid of the anxiety in the mornings and things like that. It's a beautiful, beautiful alternative. But if you want to know any more about the actual product or anything that you've got going on that you'd like to see if it can help with, talk to one of the ladies that invited you here, and we can get you into the testimonials page. You can have a chat to anybody on there and search for some stories, etc. But what I want to shift gears a little bit now and talk more about the business behind it. So how we actually utilize an amazing product and program and create some kind of freedom to be able to work when and where we want. So basically, this business, I was skeptical as all hell coming into this. I'm not going to lie. I've seen things, and I was so, I grew up in a stage where my dad was in certain multi-level marketing companies, and he always seemed to get burnt. So, when this kind of was given to me, it did take me a good 12 months to say yes to, because I wanted to really understand, was it going to work? Was I going to rip people off? What was happening that was creating so much, movement? But I was very fearful of it. So I like to do events like this and break some of those myths down, because I'm sure some of you guys are sitting there feeling exactly the same way as I was. But one of the first things that I was concerned about is it a pyramid scam? We hear it thrown around. We're still kind of worried about this elusive pyramid. Pyramid schemes were made illegal back in the 70s. Okay, so there's absolutely none of them running anymore. And if they are, they're in a lot of trouble. Ours is basically a legitimate business. The business model has been around for, like I said, just over 30 years. And it really got me interested. My beautiful friend Lauren introduced me to this business, and she explained it this way when I asked her, was it a pyramid? Okay, so I actually owned a traditional business at that time. That's how I knew Miranda. I taught her son, Koo. Okay, and I was a dance teacher. So I owned my own business. I was up here. I was the CEO. I'd worked really hard to get there. I had been one of these little checkout chicks for a long time to save up my money to own this business. And what it was is, legitimately, we had people that kind of sat at these ranks. Okay, so I went from my head coaches, then I went down to the instructors, the assistant instructors, then the professional dancers, then, the little people that were really trying to work their heart out to work up the pyramid. Okay, it was fun. It worked because I got to tell everybody what to do, and it ran smoothly. The only thing that upset me was that I never had time freedom. I was always at work because it was my business. If I wasn't there, who was going to run it? These people were cool, but they weren't invested in the actual success of my business. They were just there to get wages. Okay, but then I also had expenses. So I had their wages, I had the electricity bills, I had the rent, I had all sorts of insurance, things that kind of stressed me out. So when the money was coming up this way, it was going straight back out. And if anybody has ever owned a traditional business on here, you'll kind of understand what I mean. You work so hard to have this, but it really doesn't give you that kind of freedom that you're after. The thing that annoyed me too was that I'm an absolute travel bug. I love to travel. Okay, but I couldn't do that when I had a business like this, because as soon as I was taken out of the equation, it started to fall apart. Okay, quite often, things weren't working, so I'd get a call. I remember one time I went to Thailand for 2 weeks with my partner at the time, and I'm pretty sure they called me every day I was there because something went wrong, or some bill wasn't paid, or, someone didn't turn up to their shift. And it really got me thinking, like, why do I work so hard when I can't have any time off? The other thing is when I used to work normal jobs, so when I actually worked in retail to be able to save up here, I worked a lot of time. So I swapped my hours for a dollar figure. So every day I went there and they told me I was worth $21 for a lot of stress, for a lot of responsibility. I worked late nights, I worked weekends, I spent time away from my family literally to get that wage every week. And it really started to get me down that I didn't like that traditional way of being an employee, and I didn't like the traditional way of being an employer either. So either way it was, I was quite stuck. And then it didn't really ever think that there was another alternative until Lauren explained to me what this business is like. So we have a structure totally different to this. When we come in, there's no one above you. Okay, there's no pyramid. It's actually more of like a rectangle because everybody enters down at the same spot. So in the other way, quite often as we kind of worked our way up the ranks, there was only a few spots to get to. So if you were going for a promotion, or if some of my girls were kind of looking to get to an assistant position, there was quite often cattiness because they had to compete with each other to get over one another. In our business, we all start at the bottom, but we can all reach the top position. There's not just one CEO. Every single person that enters this business has the capacity to become the NMD, which is our equivalent of a CEO, because it's our own business. So if we want to, we can legitimately grow it as fast as we can to get to that top level without having to step over anybody to make it happen. But what I also like about this business is that there's a few little stops along the way. And if you want to, you can hang out at those. There's no pressure to perform. There's no pressure to hit certain targets or you're out or anything like that. it's really just, what do you want extra in your life and how can we help that happen? Is it $500 a month? Cool. Stop down here somewhere. Is it $10,000 a month? Aim for up here, and it really just helps you guys create that. And we have a beautiful system that helps out with that as well. In this business, I really like it because I'm quite a hard worker. When I used to work in my retail position, I would get paid exactly the same as the person that was there to do nothing. Like, he was literally there to do nothing but be a pain in my ass, I'm sure of it. And I felt quite, unhappy by the end of my shift because I would be working so hard and yet I was getting exactly the same income as somebody who wasn't. In this, if you want to work hard, you get rewarded for turning up, for actually doing the work. And it makes you really proud to have that ownership over your own success. So I hope that makes a little bit of sense because it is totally different. There's also nobody above you that can, reap the benefits from you unless they're helping you, because the only way to get to NMD is to reach down and help others up there. So it completely destroys any of the competitiveness that we quite often find in, other traditional businesses. Now, the other thing coming into this, which is quite common, we get it quite a lot. I've got a beautiful team of about 200 now, and I'm pretty certain that every single person that I brought into the business was concerned about this at the start, and that's that they don't know enough people, okay? Or not that they don't know enough people, they don't want to have to annoy people, or they don't want to have to utilize just their family and friends to be able to create a successful business. When I came into this business, I literally did not think that Miranda would be interested, but she started off loving my results and she was like, sweet, what is it? Loved it, had great results with Cooper. So she decided that she wanted to join me in my mission. Her cousin pretty much straight away decided that she wanted to join her in the mission. And then she had a friend called Amanda who wanted to join as well. So pretty much within my first week, it had boomed out. And then I went and met Jess, who was one of the ladies who was dropping her son off to me at daycare. And Jess went and found Donata. Donata found Gina. And Gina actually found Jelaine. And the really cool part was Gina and Jelaine were in New Zealand. So straight away, my business kind of went global, which was cool. And then since then, it's just kind of popcorned out like this because these people have met more people. I've met more people. Really, when I started, I knew Miranda and Jess. Okay. Then what's really cool is that I actually found a lady online called Jo. Oops, sorry guys, I'm just going to mute everybody. Cool, there we go. I actually found a lady online called Jo. Now, I'd never met Jo before, but during the day to be able to fund my dance business, I was doing a family daycare business. And Jo was also doing a family daycare business, up in Bundaberg. So she seen my post about that I was getting out and that I was going to sell all my resources and was anybody interested. And she asked me what I was doing. Crazily enough, Jo now has a massive team herself. So by one conversation with somebody that I never knew online, we've created an amazing friendship and now an amazing partnership team-wise as well. So you do not have to know people. They don't have to be people in your immediate vicinity. With social media, the way it is these days, we are sitting on a gold mine to be able to create amazing businesses and amazing friendships and go out of our way then to help people feel better as well. So I'm going to shoot on over. I'm going to hear from lovely Whitney. Now, this is Whitney's first week in the business. She's doing amazing. But I want to hear from her how she's found it. It's all yours, darling.
Hi, everyone. Okay, so basically my story starts with my kids. I've been taking the product now for probably, I'd say, a good 3.5 weeks to 4 weeks. And so basically I got introduced to Juice Plus by two of the girls that are on tonight, Lauren and Katrina. Lauren approached me first, and that was after I had my daughter, who is now 3, and was sort of really not interested and was just pretty much happy to concentrate on being a new mum. And went on, and now I've had a little boy who is now 8 months old, and pretty much it's gotten to the point now where we have a small family, but a family that we need to feed and cater for and everything. So times are tough. So I approached Katrina one day as she posted a beautiful post with her girls where she was at SeaWorld and had mentioned she was the beauty of working at the same time. So of course that interested me and sparked my interest straight away. So I contacted her and pretty much we went from there, and she introduced me to the product. I started taking the product. I started seeing results, not only for myself, but for my daughter, who is not the best eater sometimes. So knowing now that she gets a great portion of veggies and fruit is just a miracle. As far as, and I do offer it, like we make smoothies every morning. I pop in the capsule powder into her smoothies, so she's none the wiser. And I do also offer it to my son, who very willingly takes it at 8 months old. So knowing that he is taking that at already such a young age makes me feel so much better, knowing that he will grow up knowing that it is no different. And as far as the business side of things, I'm super excited to get involved in the business, obviously to create a lot of flexibility, freedom, and less stress for my family. Like I said, we have mouths to feed now, so cost of living is, very expensive. This is an opportunity that will open that up for our family, and hopefully, fingers crossed, everything succeeds and we can help other people out as well as helping ourselves. So that's sort of where we're at the moment.
That's wonderful. I'm so excited to make it happen for you, darling. Thank you for the I know you were nervous, but you smashed it.
Thanks.
And that's literally the beauty of it, guys. We all have a reason why this makes sense. For me, it was putting my girls first, just like Whitney. I didn't want to go back to work. I was so sick of working all the time. I was missing out on everything. And my eldest started school this year, and I did not want to be that mum who missed out on school stuff. I didn't want to miss out on assembly, or like tomorrow's Mother's Day. I get to go to tomorrow. I can schedule my work around her. So that's important. But we're going to head on over now with lovely Tanya, and we'll hear how she's found from the business. The floor is yours. Hello.
Hello. Basically, over the last few years, I've been suffering with quite a few health problems. An underactive thyroid, high blood pressure, just to name a few, anxiety. I was online and I met a lady, Vicky, and Vicky introduced me to Joe, and they told me about these amazing products, and I thought, well, it's worth a go, because even though being on my medications that I was on, my levels were forever up and down, and I was just finding it really hard keeping stuff under control. So I've been on the premium capsules now for about a month and a half. The first week in, I noticed that I wasn't waking up tired in the morning anymore. I had a lot more energy. Due to my thyroid condition, I had really wiry and hard hair. My hair's a lot softer now. And it's just been amazing, and I'd recommend it to anyone.
That's wonderful, darling. And what are you excited about now that you've started the business?
What I'm excited about is, I don't really want to be going back to work full time. So I'm just about to do some study in health. And I thought while I'm studying, I'm going to build up my business part-time. So, yeah, that's what I'm excited for.
Wonderful. I love that. I'm going to be watching you, honey. I'm excited to see it happen. That's really cool.
Thank you, Katrina.
That's exactly what I did too. I thought I'd be building it up part-time, and yet here I am and doing it as a full-time job.
Awesome.
Works wonderful. Okay, now I'm going to shoot on over to my beautiful friend Jo that I was talking about that we met online. She's going to explain to everybody how we get paid. It's pretty much my fun part of the whole night tonight. I used to be quite scared of the fact that we make a lot of money in this industry, but after feeling the benefits and feeling the choices that it makes for my family, I now love it because I hope that it resonates with some of you guys. But Jo, where are you, darling? The floor is all yours. Tell us about those fun figures.
Thank you very much. Hi, everybody. Yes, I do get the fun part, talking about the money, because as fun as it is to meet all of these beautiful people and get to help people and hear their stories, we all have bills to pay and we all have dreams, and it's money that does make that possible. So we actually get paid for 3 different things. We get paid to use the products, to talk about the products, and to share the results. So when we use the products, both for ourselves and our customers, we get paid a retail profit. We also, when we help others in our business, we get paid a commission for helping them build theirs. And then we also get paid bonuses. Now, bonuses are the fun money, because I've worked in quite a few different industries and there's not very many jobs out there anymore that pay bonuses. Now, the bonus structure that we have is absolutely amazing. So it is designed to, our business is a teaching business. So as we help other people grow their businesses, we get rewarded, and so do they. So when everybody starts out, as Katrina drew before in her rectangle, we start out as a virtual franchisee. Then we have the ability to become a DVF, that's our next level, within the first 10 days. When we do that, there's a $100 bonus on offer within your first 10 days. Next level is SDVF, and you can do that in 40 days. Now that is a $400 bonus. Now, not only for you, but also for the person who helped you and taught you how to get there. So you're never left on your own in this business. There's somebody there teaching and coaching you the whole way. Next bonus that comes along is $600 for SC. Again, both for you and the person who helped you get there. The next bonus is SSC, which is a lovely $1,200 bonus for you and your teacher. The next bonus is QNMD, $1,500 bonus. And then our very pinnacle position is NMD, and when you reach that one, that is a beautiful $3,000 bonus. Now, when you get to that level, your teacher does not get the $3,000, because when you get to that point, you're usually on somewhere around about the 80 to anywhere between 80 and 110,000 K a year is your income. So your teacher doesn't need that bonus when you get to that stage. So, and that is just 1/3 of the ways that we get paid. So that's the bonuses that are available. And because, like Katrina shared, this business, you can share it with as many people as you like. So these here, they're unlimited. The more people you share this with, the more you can access that money, and you teach them how to do the same, and they teach their friends how to do exactly the same. So this business is an awful lot of fun, and there's a lot of rewards, both personal rewards, friendship rewards, and also financial rewards.
Hey, and speaking of that, Jo just hit that lovely QNMD bonus. So she got a nice $1,500 bonus, and so did I. So I'm pretty stoked about that as well. But Jo, can you share with us what this business has given you? Because I love your story.
So my story is, like Katrina shared a bit before, we met on Facebook. The reason I was doing family daycare at the time, but I am a breast cancer survivor. So I was doing family daycare because it was something I could do. I didn't have to do it 5 or 6 days a week, which I'd done before. I was looking for a way to get more out of life. I wasn't married at the time, but my fiance and I, we love to travel. Absolutely love to travel. We had dreams of buying a beautiful caravan and a car and taking our time and spending a few years traveling around Australia. I am too old to go fruit picking. I do not want to pick up random bar work as we go around, and I don't want to have to make coffees for a living. So I didn't think that, you know, being able to work my way around Australia was ever going to be an option. But I sent that message to Katrina. She sent me a video to watch, and exactly 1 year later, here I am. I am sitting in my brand new, very nice caravan. We have our dream car. We have everything that we hardly dared to dream of. We are about to put our house on the market in about 6-8 weeks' time, and yeah, we're ready to go. We are heading off around Australia, and I just got back from LA. We just did Disneyland. This business more than pays for our adventures, and it gets better and better every single month. Like, the paycheck that I got for last month was the biggest paycheck I've had in over 5 years. And for 10 days of that, I was in LA at Disneyland. So it's just crazy. This business really has a lot of opportunities. And if you just dare to dream just a little bit, we can show you how to make those dreams come true through this business.
You're awesome. You're so awesome. Thank you, darling. Thank you for sharing. All right, now we've got one more beautiful person to hear from tonight who is launching, and that's Andrea. Let me find her. There she is. All right, darling, the floor's all yours. Tell us why you're here and how you're doing it so far.
Okay, so my story started with, I don't know where to start really, but just a quick background on myself. I've always, from the day I left school, I have worked full-time, worked several jobs, and worked a lot of hours. My husband and I spent 8 years trying to get our first child, and then we're blessed with a little boy. 11 months later, I find out that we're blessed with another child, and when that child was 7 months old, I was 10 weeks pregnant with another one. So having 3 children in under 3 years, we weren't expecting, but certainly weren't saying no to that. However, I was very focused on my job. Before having children, I was at work at 6:30 in the morning, and my husband was ringing me at 11:30 at night to say, "Are you coming home today? Because I'm going to bed." So that was my life. So when I fell pregnant with my first, I decided that I would work from home for the first 4 months of his life. So I worked from home the day I got out of hospital. I settled him into his cot, and I went down to work and got a whole heap of paperwork, came back and started working that night, and worked full-time from home for 4 months, and then he went to daycare. This continued on with each of my children until I gave birth to my third child, and whilst I was I didn't work from home whilst I was on maternity leave with him for a couple of different reasons, but realised I couldn't go back to work because having 3 children in full-time daycare just wasn't sustainable on the wage that I was on. My husband worked away. He has a daughter that he pays quite a large sum of money each month to support her, and we also spend a lot of time visiting her, which costs a lot of money as well. So I left my job of 9 years that I had a lot of freedom from, but not the financial security there, and went into a job working on a site, and I was at work at 6 o'clock in the morning and did not finish there. I think I left site at 5:30 to be able to pick up the kids at 5:45 to walk out of there at 6 o'clock at night. My middle child suffered anxiety, so I would be getting to bed at about midnight by the time I got everything ready for the next day to be able to shoot out the door by 5:30 in the morning. So he would wake up at 12:30 roughly, so I'd only just started getting into a sleep, and he would be awake till 3 o'clock. And essentially that's putting me to bed for, me going to sleep for 2 hours. Every night for 2 years, I was getting 2 hours sleep a night, and it wasn't sustainable. My husband would come home on a Friday night, cook me dinner, deal with the kids because I'd sit on the couch and fall asleep immediately. And then he would cook me dinner and I'd be asleep whilst I was eating it. I worked in HR. I was a very big part of 3 major redundancies of walking my friends off site, 60 friends at a time off site. And the result of all of that, the working 55 to 60 hours a week, making those redundancies, I ended up having a major breakdown. I was diagnosed with severe depression. And I'm a person that's worked since I was 14 years old. So all of a sudden, I wasn't working. I didn't know what to do with my life, and I just felt so run down. And this depression was just getting the better of me. So financially, I was okay because my wage protection insurance was covering me. But over time, things were just changing and things went right. And then we got to last year, and last year was a really hard year for me. My really good friend was battling breast cancer, and I was there and trying to support her, but at the same time while I was going through that, my marriage was breaking down. I had adrenal fatigue. I have low iron that they couldn't get rid of or bring it up. Nothing was going right in my life. I had suicidal thoughts. It was just a really bad time of my life. I would drop the kids off at school and come home and fall asleep at 10 o'clock in the morning and wake up at about 12 and then try and get something to eat, and I'd be back asleep until 2:20 when my alarm went off to go and pick up the kids. And this was my life. We had our marriage was starting to get there. My friend went through her breast cancer battle and came out the other side of that. But we had a cruise booked for 2 years and our finances had changed a lot. So we had to cancel that, which obviously broke my heart. And in all that time, Denise, that was on before, put a post on Facebook about earning extra money. And so I reached out to her and she told me about it. And I didn't really take too much notice of the product. It was, okay, well, I want to earn a bit of income here. I don't want to have to go back to work. I don't have the energy to go back to work. And I spend my time just trying to find that energy to get through the day. So I took on the business and never tried the product, but read all the testimonials and felt that I knew all about it. So I had the products, I bought them for myself, but was hopeless in taking them. So I signed up a few of my friends that I thought would benefit from them. One of the ones was my friend that survived breast cancer, and she was she's just posted a message. She said to me, I feel great. This is amazing product. Thank you for bringing this to me. Why aren't you taking this? And I went, just too tired. And there was all these excuses to not try it. But anyway, I started taking it religiously every single day. And all of a sudden, it wasn't until we had a launch or a seminar up in Gladstone that Christian had mentioned that it's not a massive response that you get on that energy, but you no longer have dips. And I got thinking to myself, hang on, I haven't actually had a daytime sleep in, over a week. And it didn't even click to me that I didn't need that. And I was feeling quite good. So then I got the shakes and I started having the shakes. And my middle child that suffers anxiety also doesn't eat breakfast. So he started having a shake, and there was had more concentration at school, and so that was happening. So all of a sudden I was enjoying the business and making the money from it, but also enjoying the product, and my family was enjoying the product as well. But then I hit a situation that I was earning too much money, which is a good problem to have, but not when you're getting insurance on top of that you can't earn it. So I had to change my whole franchise to my husband's name, and so that's a good problem to have. But I didn't think too much of the product until I actually started it, and now my husband takes it as well. And then for the long weekend we went camping and I forgot to take it, so take them with me. So then I got back into that rut of not taking it again. And I really felt it. I turned up to school and my friend's like, you look really tired, what's going on? And I went, hang on, I haven't been taking my juice class, and having to get back onto that has made a massive difference. And yeah, that's my story.
That's awesome, darling. Thank you for sharing. It sounds like you've been through an awful lot. So I'm really glad we can help out, hun. Cheers to a good couple of months coming up, hey?
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. Awesome. Thank you, guys. I won't keep you too much longer, guys, because I really do appreciate your time tonight. I mean, if you want to know any more about any of our stories, we can definitely help. Just a little bit more about what I've managed to do in 12 months before we say goodbye is life-changing, and that's why I'm so passionate now about going out and helping others do this. So, you know, I came into this quite reluctantly. If you ask Lauren, she's on here. You know, she tried to talk some sense into me for a very long time. I had absolutely no time with my kids. No time. At the time where I had a partner who was really sick. It was like I was a single mum. I was doing everything myself. I was working 2 full-time jobs. We still weren't making ends meet, and that's why I completely resonate with Whitney. I know how stressful it is when you've got a small family and you don't feel like you're providing the way you want to. So when this kind of got shown to me, it made me think, you know, I actually went to an event like this, but it was in person and I could see real people telling real stories, and I couldn't deny it, that there was something there that was real. There was something that I needed to look further into. And I kind of kicked myself for waiting so long to take a bloody look. But I jumped in. Within 2 weeks, I felt amazing on the products, and I knew that it was real. I knew that shit was about to get crazy because I was ready to run with this. I've never met so many powerful and positive people in my life. And, you know, they're my tribe. I love happy people. So it was really nice to have a whole community of them around me, you know, and I just ran with it. Within 5 months, I dropped both of my jobs. So I sold my family daycare, I sold my dancing studio, and I dropped my family daycare business. And I did this solely full time. So I was earning a full-time wage in probably 15 hours of work a week. And in those 15 hours, I could choose when and where I wanted to work. So it was ridiculous. I didn't work all day. You know, I'd go to SeaWorld, like Whitney said, with my kids all day, and then I'd work in the night when they went to sleep. I would do really cool things. And I wanted to make that last year before my daughter went to school really memorable. So we actually packed up as a family and we went and lived in Bali for 2 months. And it was probably some of the best 2 months of my life to date, because I felt so free. I've had spent so much time being trapped inside businesses and trapped inside financial debt and stress and anxiety, to be able to go and do that, which was on my bucket list since I've been little, and to be able to take my kids to experience that as well was something crazy. So now I'm earning great money. I don't have to have that stress anymore, and now my goals just get bigger and bigger. Probably not next year, but 2019, I'm going to pack up and I'm going to do what Joe did, but I'm going to do it on a global scale. I'm going to take my 2 kids and we're going to world school, because to me, that's something that's always lit my soul on fire. I want to take them for a year and teach them while we travel so that they can actually get to create memories around the world and do that kind of stuff. And the cool thing about that is literally I'll still be getting paid while I'm over there. So while I get to create all that fun stuff, I've also created an empire here that's going to keep me moving. So if any of this makes sense, I know it works for me because I've seen it. I see it happen in Joe. I've seen it happen in Miranda. I can see it happening in these awesome people that are really starting to, you know, starting to just get their feet in the business. And that's the fun stuff, because it can take 2 months to make this literally work. It can take 2 years. Depends on, you know, how much time do you have? How much drive do you have? But if it gets you excited, definitely go back to the person who talked to you, whether it's product, whether it's business, even if it's nothing, like I shared at the start. If none of it resonates with you, if you're really happy where you're at in life, just keep an eye out. You might have a sister that doesn't want to go back to work. You might have an auntie that has fibromyalgia and wants something to help out. But really just think of your friends, because we are a direct selling tool. We do go out there and we want to help people face to face. So we definitely kind of ask for your recommendation. But thank you so much for your time. God, it's almost been an hour, but thank you everybody for taking time out on a Wednesday night. I know everybody that launched really appreciates it, and thank you everybody for your beautiful shares. So I'm going to tune out now, guys. I'm going to take you all off mute. So if anybody's got any questions, feel free to pop them up, or feel free to contact any of us on Facebook.